Hello and welcome to this lesson where you're going to solve a question on applications of ratios. Welcome. A youth group decided to raise Kenya shillings 480,000 to buy a piece of land costing 80,000 shillings per hectare. Before the actual payment was made, 4 of the members pulled out and each of those remaining had to pay an additional 20,000 shillings. Part A. If the original number of the group members was X, write down Part 1 an expression of how much each was to contribute originally. Part 2 an expression of how the remaining members were to contribute after the 4 pulled out. Then B, determine the number of members who actually contributed towards the purchase of the land. I think those are the questions. So let's go to the first part. Now we are supposed to write down if the original number of the group members was X, we write down an expression of how much each was to contribute originally. Now the amount that was to be raised was 480,000 and the original members was X. So each member originally was to contribute this amount. The amount to be contributed was 480. Then the original number of members was X. So this is what each person was to contribute originally. Then part B is supposed to indicate an expression of how the remaining members were to contribute after the 4 pulled out. So note, after the 4 pulled out, the ones who were remaining were X minus 4. Therefore, the new contribution became 480,000 divided by X minus 4. So this is an expression showing the contribution made by the remaining members after 4 pulled out. Let's go to the next part. Determine the number of members who actually contributed towards the purchase of the land. Determine the number of members who actually contributed towards the purchase of the land. Now, we are given this statement that after these 4 members pulled out, the remaining member had to pay an additional of 20,000 shillings each. Now, we need to write down that expression showing that originally there were X members who were to contribute. The amount that was to be contributed was 480, but after 4 pulled out, the remaining had to pay an additional 20,000 shillings each. So we need to write that expression, and this is how you're going to write that expression. So meaning that the second expression, this is a 480 divided by X minus 4, represent to be more. So if we take that expression, those are the members who remained, so 480 divided by X minus 4, we subtract the original contribution, that is 480 divided by X. This difference will give 20,000. The reason is because the rest of the members who were left after 4 pulled out of the group had to pay more. Each of them had to pay more, and this is the contribution by each after 4 left. This is the original. So this expression should give 20,000 shillings. Now we need to work out this expression and get X, which represents the number of members. So to work out these, we need to get the least common multiple, the denominator of X, and X minus 4, which will give, this will give X minus 4. After we do that, we need to multiply each of the terms, there are 3 terms, by this least common multiple. So we have 480,000 divided by x minus 4. We multiply by x minus 4. Then the other one is 480,000 divided by x, everything multiplied by x minus 4 is equals to 20,000 multiplied by x minus 4. So that is what we need to work out. Now, when we do that, you realize that these will cancel out, these and these will cancel out, then that x and this one will divide. So we shall have in this part, when you open this bracket, we shall have 480,000 x. This will be, when you open this bracket here, we'll get 480 x plus, they'll be positive because of this negative here and this negative. Multiply 480,000 times 4, this will give 1,920,000. That is what you're supposed to get. This one is equals to, we open up this, you get 20,000 x squared, then this is a minus 80,000. This is 80,000 minus 80,000. That is what we get. Now, after doing that, something that you'll notice, 480x and 480x, that one, if we subtract, it will be 0. So this side will remain with 1,920,000 is equals, this is a 20,000 x squared minus 80,000. Now we reorganize this equation format to be in the format of a quadratic equation for easier solving. So I want to reorganize it. So I bring this 1,920,000 to the other side. So I'll get 20,000 x squared. Then this is x, I'm sorry, this will be x. This will be 880,000 x. So you can correct it somewhere here. The space is not enough. So when you multiplied these, you got 20,000 x squared minus 80,000 x. So that one should be x. Now after doing that, we get this one is negative 80,000 x. Then bring this to this side, minus 1,920,000 should be equal to 0. If we divide each term by 10,000, we get 2x squared minus 8x minus 192 should give 0. So these, we divide everything by 2 again, give x squared minus 4x minus, this will give 96 is equals to 0. Now we have a simplified equation, have a simplified quadratic equation, and therefore to be easier for us to solve, we can use any method. Now to solve it faster, let us use the quadratic formula. Quadratic formula is x minus b plus or minus, this is b squared minus 4ac. This is the quadratic formula that you're going to use, where in this question a is equals to 1, b is equals to minus 4, and c is equals to negative 96. Now we substitute these values in the formula. If we substitute these values in the formula, we get this will be 4 plus or minus. This is negative 4 squared minus 4 times A times C, everything divided by 2 times 1. Now this gives, you simplify, this will give 4, everything here, if you work it out very well, this gives 400, then everything divided by 2. So the values of x, this simplified will give 4 plus or minus the square root of, just put the square root, so the square root of 400 will give 200 divided by 2. Therefore, at this stage, we can now get the two values of x. So x will be given by 4. This is 20. I'm sorry. This is 20. 200. The square root of 400 is 20. So this gives 4 plus 20 divided by 2. That will be the first value, or the second one, x will be 4 minus 20 divided by 2. So this gives negative, this is 16, this is negative 8, and this will give 12. Of course, since we are dealing with the number of people, we are going to ignore negative 8, and therefore the members will be 12. We are going to take these x as 12. That is the answer we're going to take. We're going to ignore these since members cannot be negative. Now the question is the original, the number of members who contributed. Those who contributed, this is the original. The original number of members were 12, but 4 pulled out. Therefore, the members who contributed will be given by 12 divided by 4, and this will give 8 members. So that is how we work out the first part. That part, this is the second. Part C. Calculate the ratio of the supposed original contribution to the new contribution. The ratio of the supposed original contribution. Now that we know the number of members, the original contribution by each member was supposed to be 480,000 divided by 12. We found the original members were 12. But after 4 pulled out, this is 480,000 divided by 8. 8 remains. So this is the ratio that we are getting. The supposed original contribution to the new contribution after the members pulled out. So working out these correctly, this gives, use a calculator. So this gives 2:3. So it gives 2:3, just dividing it. The last part of the question is, if the land was subdivided equally, find the size of the land each member got. If the land was subdivided equally, find the size of the land each member got. Now we go to original. This is a statement here. The statement says that the piece of the land they were to buy was costing 80,000 per hectare. 80,000 per hectare. So if it was costing 1 hectare was costing 80,000, and the amount that they had was 480, therefore the amount of land is 480,000. So the amount of land they were able to buy was 480,000 divided by 80. And when you work out these will give now the size of the land that they were able to buy with 480,000 shillings. When you divide these, you get 6 hectares. So 6 hectares, that was for all the members, but we have to calculate for each member. And since they were to get equally, so they were to subdivide 6 hectares among the 8 members. So each member, therefore, getting these 6 hectares, then you divide by all the members, and this will give 3/4 of a hectare. Or you can write it as 0.75 hectare. That is the same as 3/4. So you can just give it as a fraction or as a decimal. That is how you're supposed to work out that question.
And he will make you strong.